This podcast is brought to you by Rebecca Cassells of the Rising Dawn series. Do you like violence? Do you like smut? Are you tired of the stereotypical novels of werewolf romance out there and want something a little bit different? Then pick up Sparked Revolution, Book 1 in the Rising Dawn series by Rebecca Cassells. Available on Amazon, in Kindle, and paperback. You too can become a sponsor of Stories The True and the Fictional by heading on over to buymeacoffee.com/STTATF or follow the link in the show notes.
Interior, late night office, Hollywood studio, night. The room is dimly lit, the only light coming from a single desk lamp and the glow of a computer screen. The walls are lined with posters of blockbuster movies. A large whiteboard is cluttered, have hastily written ideas, most of which are crossed out. Jason, a slightly disheveled man in his late 30s, sits slumped at the desk. He's the next chosen director of the Jurassic World franchise, tasked with reviving it after the lukewarm reception of Dominion. His eyes are bloodshot from lack of sleep. A blank stare is fixed on the whiteboard. Suddenly, the lights flicker. Jason looks up, confused.
Great. Now even the lights are quitting on me.
The room fills with the smell of brimstone, and the temperature drops noticeably. The lights flicker one last time, before going out completely. When they return, the devil is standing in the corner, clad in a sharp black suit with red accents. His eyes gleam with mischief as he adjusts his cufflinks.
Tough night, Jason?
Who are you?
Oh, just a fan of your work. Well, potential work. Looks like you could use a little inspiration.
Wait, are you?
Well, let's not get hung up on titles. What matters is I can help you turn this franchise around. And all I'd ask in return is, well, you know how these things go, your soul, yada yada.
Jason stares at the devil, still processing, before finally nodding.
At this point, I'll try anything.
Fantastic. Now, let's hear some of these ideas you've been toiling over.
Jason stands up, feeling a sudden burst of energy. He quickly erases the whiteboard and starts sketching out new concepts.
Okay, so picture this. The dinosaurs escape Earth. They're now in space, battling aliens. The T-Rex as a space gladiator.
The devil's smile falters, but he quickly recovers.
Interesting. Well, what do you say about something a little bit more grounded? Perhaps returning to the roots?
Or how about this? Time travel. The dinosaurs are transported back to the medieval era. T-Rex versus knights.
The devil raises an eyebrow, his patience thinning. He crosses his arms, leaning against the desk.
Medieval, you say? Getting closer. But think bigger, Jason. What's something truly iconic that the fans would love to see?
Jason's eyes light up, as if he's finally hit the jackpot.
Yes! How about a crossover with Fast and the Furious? Vin Diesel riding a velociraptor at 200 miles per hour.
The devil's eye twitches. He clenches his fists, trying to remain composed.
Riders. That's good. Maybe not in cars, but they're, I don't know, on the dinosaurs. You know, actually riding them?
Jason pauses for a moment, then snaps his fingers.
I got it. The dinosaurs mutate, they grow wings and become the cars. Dinosaur vehicles transforming and battling.
The devil's frustration finally boils over. He slams his hand on the desk, causing the entire room to shake.
Jason! I'm talking about Dino-Riders, people on dinosaurs, epic battles, classic adventures. How do you not see this?
Jason stares at the devil, blinking slowly.
You mean like cowboys versus dinosaurs?
The devil's face falls, and he sighs deeply, rubbing his temples.
You know what? Forget it. Just forget it. Good luck with your... whatever this is.
The devil turns on his heel and snaps his fingers. The lights flicker once more, and he vanishes in a puff of smoke, leaving behind the faint smell of sulfur. Jason looks around, confused, before slumping back into his chair.
Dinosaurs in space. Why didn't I think of that sooner?
He starts typing frantically on his keyboard, completely oblivious to the opportunity that just slipped through his fingers. Fade out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Welcome everyone to Stories, the true and sometimes quite possibly fictional. It has been an excellent day, and I am proud to be joined by our host who spares no expense, J.A. Bryan. How are you doing, sir?
I'm going well. I'm going well. Yes. Yes, I'm quite excited for this episode. It comes highly recommended from some comments we've had and that. So I love the way it's worked out.
This topic is near and dear to your heart, and we will actually be going through personal trauma, and I will be making fun of you for that personal trauma,
Yes.
which is I think is my favorite part of this whole
Yeah.
conundrum is
Yeah.
the joy.
Yeah.
I'm of course joined by someone truly unique. We've worked long in the lab. Now there are many people, a doctor even, of Asian descent, who said that we should introduce new genetics into this build to really sell it to the crowd. You know, Verizon's paying us a lot of money. I said no. I said no. I, unlike that buxom red-headed woman, understand what people want to see. They want to see the classics. They want to see the originals. I wanted a true 100% British person, and I got it in Neil Cassells. Neil, how are you going, sir?
I'm very well, thank you.
How is things in jolly old England?
Very much the same old. We can't decide whether summer is done with us or not.
Is it true that if an English person walks out into the sun, they burst into flames?
Only if we don't take precautions.
That's again, I've worked with several British. I've seen the amount of sunscreen they do carry in their bags. You know, they're always talking about the latest technology, the FPS 50, 60, 70. I'm assuming, although with the clouds in England, I'm assuming you don't need sunscreen, do you?
Every now and then, the clouds will part, the sun will shine, and the death toll is catastrophic. Honestly, if you're talking about sunscreen, if you're not in triple digits, you're just not trying.
Back in my day, or back when I was a young Korean man, it was quite common. SPS 15 was considered powerful, beyond reproach. Then this company came up with SPS 30, and we were going, well, I'll just put on 2 lots of the 15 then, won't I then? I don't need the 30. Not knowing how science worked at all. That's not the point, though. You bought them in those big yellow container bottles. And honestly, a family in Australia would go to the beach once, maybe twice a year. we didn't have to replace the bottle for years. The science checked out.
And Chris comes from a big family.
And we still didn't go through the entire bottle. That's how,
Because they weren't using it. No,
quite possibly. Quite possibly. Now, Neil, we both have a love of capitalism. Me more than you. You know what I find annoying as well? When I put in an accent for a skit, it tends to linger somewhat afterwards.
Chris will be playing the devil the entire time.
But this was the one of the easier ones I slip into because it was the one that I trained the most in stage and theatre. And it was the one that I used quite a lot in school as well to convince people that I was from Singapore. It was quite hilarious. Anyway, Neil, I would like you to promote your wares to the audience. Promote away.
My lovely wife, Rebecca Cassells, author of the Rising Dawn series, has recently finished and sent to publish her latest spin-off of the trilogy. So by the time this goes out to everyone, it should be available to buy either as a physical copy or an ebook from Amazon Kindle. So I have the blurb I'd like to read just to try and entice the listeners. When Liliana of the Clawed Earth Pack fights for her freedom, the last thing she expected was to be saved by a wild rogue. Living her life to suit her parents' wants and desires, Lil's first naive attempt at escape is thwarted by a group of rogue werewolves set out to use her in their plot for revenge. Was her first taste of freedom to be snatched away from her so quickly? Or was the moon goddess looking over her by making sure another innocent soul showed up at the right time and in the right place? Jax Mamilla was a lone wolf, especially since his father was brutally murdered by werewolf hunters. With the taste of revenge on the air, his hunt for the hunters led him towards the Clawed Earth Pack. Ignoring his number one rule to avoid all pack wolves, he followed his prey and found another prize entirely, the Pack Princess. Two souls driven by their need for freedom and revenge, but completely innocent to what they truly need. Will they figure it out in time, or will they be separated by throwing away the gifts of the moon goddess?
And I, for one, can't wait to hear about Jax's throbbing member throughout the tale of the story. I'm sure there'll be many scenes where, where authors flirtatively talk about the throbbing member without referencing the name, because that's crass. That's just crass. And also, it lacks artistic integrity.
Yeah. Well, the title, Innocence Corrupted.
I think it says it all. Then I think it says it all.
It's and not to be confused with Chris's autobiography coming out soon with the same title. You had to think about that for a minute, didn't you?
I did.
Wait a second.
He's
talking about me.
He's talking about me.
Yeah.
I blame the previous administration, Jamie.
Yes.
For all my previous actions and deeds.
Okay. Cool. And I believe Rebecca Cassells has another book coming out in October as well.
Yes. It's a completely separate from the trilogy and the spin-offs that she's been doing previously.
Yeah.
It is a from the pieces that I have been able to preview, it's a straight up romance, a lot more grounded in reality, with some very personal themes to the author.
There you go.
Which I'm sure at some point she'll be about to talk about or hint at.
Yep.
But it's not my place to say.
Yeah. To be continued.
To be continued, indeed, to be continued. Jamie, it has been a long week, and I know that you've been in your warehouse bashing your rocks and hammers, grunting at the moon and stars,
Mm-hmm.
being startled by fire.
Yes.
I know. It's
Mm.
warm, but it's dangerous if you touch it. You can't do.
Ooh,
You
ooh.
cannot touch the fire. But what have you been watching on the strange electronic device that displays pictures that move?
Look, I've almost finished Suits. I haven't been watching all that much. I've been dabbling in FIFA still. I tried to do something I've never done before and do a career as a goalkeeper, and I was like, this is just bad.
How many goals did you
Like,
let in? Be
like,
honest.
no, like probably two in one season. I played one season,
Ooh.
but the score the system like is basically exactly the same if you're playing like a striker, and if you play too poorly, they'll sub you off.
Yeah.
But you're a goalie.
Who subs off a goalkeeper?
And they use the same formula, and it's like I'll play use the whole team because I get bored of them just one character. And therefore, if the goalkeeper doesn't touch the ball regularly, your score goes down, and then you get subbed off, even though you've let no goals in.
When you play
No?
as a career mode, you're meant to play as the only one player of the team.
No, I can't do it. Can't do it.
That's why when I do that, that's why my striker ends up touching the ball like 100 times all over the park because I just follow the
Hog it.
ball.
Yes, no, but like, yeah. So that's like the worst thing. But I'm probably gonna get the next one because they've added all this stuff that's actually good. Like it's
Yeah, I
once
know.
once
I promised myself I wouldn't give EA
Yeah.
any more money, but
Yeah,
then
I
I'm
know.
like,
But once
fuck you.
once every 3 or 4 years, they suddenly go something good, instead of like repeating the same thing over and over and over again. But this new one looks really good, so I don't know.
You feel
I don't know.
dirty.
Yes.
You feel dirty just,
Mhm.
even buying it.
Yeah.
It's
But-
EA.
Exactly.
I know.
Oh,
I know. You could always wait a year and buy it for $5 in the
you have to have a
pre-owned
cold
bin.
shower afterwards. Just be like, just try to scrub it off, but it doesn't scrub off, does it?
No,
It never scrubs off.
no. But apparently with this one, they've been listening to what the people want and bringing back all these features and stuff. So I'm like, well, are they trying to,
It's
turn?
EA. They will mess it up somehow. They're like, oh, we've listened to what you want, and you can have it as long
But
as you purchase the season pass and purchase the following packs for an
yeah,
additional
yeah.
fee.
That's it. Yeah.
But having said that, apparently, and maybe EA is just in this weird year, they released a game for college football, and apparently it's good. Like it's just like a good game, solid. Everyone loves it. I'm going like, what's the catch, EA? Apparently there is no. Maybe they're going through a bit of a mood to be like going, what if we try something different? How about we make our games not shit?
I'd love that board
No.
meeting.
I want to spend $200 million on a hero shooter, but make not a single member of my hero shooters Rule 34 material, and then see how that goes in the market space. Oh, wait. It doesn't. It doesn't. Oh, you wayward soul. I feel so sorry for.
Yeah.
14 days before their live service game was completely shut down.
Hey,
I was listening to a gaming podcast, and they as they started, this news was breaking, and they were actually watching in real time as said game disappeared from all of the online stores. They'd hit
Oh.
refresh, and it would just go page not found. Oh,
that is.
I don't think it actually broke 100 concurrent players worldwide on Steam.
That is delicious.
Mhm.
Again, there are some people who are a little bit more optimistic than me. They keep saying that the market will correct itself, as it always does. I truly hope that. Neil, you're a little bit more of a man of
Advanced.
science, a little bit more sophisticated. I'm assuming you've watched more entertainment than Jamie's FIFA efforts in the past week.
I have had a short while to get back onto Diablo 4. which I am not keen on purchasing an Activision Blizzard title, but then they made it available on Steam and it was on sale. That's my reasoning. At least Gaben takes a cut of that. And every now and then I just get back on for a few hours and dabble. Usually less than that, because I'll say, oh, I've got 2 hours before I need to go to bed. I'll fire up Diablo 4. Oh, what's this? A 10 gigabyte update?
Yep.
Never mind. I'll go and I'll sit and stare at my phone while that loads, downloads, installs, patches, and finally becomes available. Anything else? My wife and I just she randomly put this on. We started rewatching an anime that we actually watched together when we started seeing each other, which was the Bubblegum Crisis Tokyo 2040.
Ah, classic.
Which is it's good fun, but it also brings up a lot of memories for us because, again, just when we'd started seeing each other, we started watching it, and so it brings up some nice memories. And besides that, a lot of podcasts and some Warhammer horror.
And I'm
I've
sure
been I've been dabbling in the audio dramas that they've produced for those. Very good.
And of course, I'm sure you're eagerly anticipating the release of Space Marine 2, which comes out, I think, now or tomorrow. I don't know when.
I think there's already people complaining about the fact that Epic Game Store is being installed alongside it because it requires it.
I know it's unfortunate, but apparently it's a good game. So apparently it's just a solid good game. Now, I want to tell you a funny anecdote story from my watching. So as you know, I have a son who I'm trying to make not a sociopath. It's quite difficult because it's in his genetics. So he started to watch a show called Paw Patrol. Paw Patrol. Always on the... Anyway, so I started to watch with him because he decides that he wants to watch it on my PlayStation 5, not on the devices. It must be on the thing that Daddy wants, and on the TV Daddy wants. Even though there's a separate TV in his, in the... Yes, because I am spoiling him somewhat. There's a separate TV he can watch, but no. Daddy has the PlayStation controller. He's trying to resurrect Barcelona from their many failures and win them champions in glory. But no. He must watch. That's fine. So there's a character on Paw Patrol called Chase. In season 1, he's referred to as a traffic dog or traffic cop, a cop. He has the badge, the hat. And then I believe around a certain time frame in the real world, a certain BLM matter happened, and he stopped becoming a cop and became Chase the spy dog. And still has the badge, still has everything, but I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, they just went and redubbed all the lines to refer to him as spy dog rather than police dog. And it got me wondering, you didn't want this children's dog to be a symbol of state-sponsored violence by the police. But you're okay with him being a symbol of state-sponsored murder by the government. That makes you think. Like, no, he can't be a police who's brutality. But he can be responsible for overthrowing an entire nation by, through spy network and assassinations, yes. That is exactly the kind of message we want to send to our children's toy dog show. But let's be honest, any kid that watches that show likes Marshall the fire dog because he's an asshole, and that's why they watch it. Sadly, that has been the vast majority of my television viewing. I'm way behind on my anime. The season of Isekai has come, and there's been multiple beautiful stories about people being thrown in front of buses or office workers who work too hard, they die. They get transported to... And I haven't watched a single one because my son's an asshole. But I will forgive him because, one thing I do, it frustrates me a lot in anime is that it's a continuous story for the 13 episodes, which means there is no conclusion in some episodes. It just ends because it's obviously you just move on to the next episode. When you're watching it weekly, that's just the most frustrating thing in the universe. That's why it's sometimes good to let a few episodes build up, like 6 to 7 before you start watching it, so you can just get that continuous run, or else you get frustrated. And thus ends the tale of why Jamie gets frustrated every single time he sees a dog.
I get frustrated. Why do I get frustrated?
You tell me, Jamie. You tell
I love
me.
dogs. There's only just one dog that thinks I'm pure evil.
Yes.
What did you do to that dog?
What did you do?
We don't know. It's Chris's dog.
What did you do to that dog?
But then I think it's just the breed, because there's a beagle that barks when I walk past it at the end of my street.
Ah, so all beagles hate
It's
Jamies.
beagle. It's just like how we figured out that my nephew's dog, who's a whippet, is very particular about dogs he hates. We figured out he may be a bit of a fascist.
Well, he is.
Like any long-haired dog, he will go at. Like he'll walk past poodles, he'll walk past, kelpies, just these short-haired dogs, think nothing of it, and then he'll see a long-haired one. He's just like.
Translation: get a job, hippie.
Yeah, that could be it.
And then they shake violently with rage and fear and pee everywhere. A perfect dog for a growing family. Speaking of rage, fear, and peeing everywhere, Jamie, you have something for us?
I do. Well, we've got now. I'm not going to have a long appreciating Cavill this week. We just wanted a quick one, because we've got some stuff to get through, some Jurassic Park stuff to get through. But I'm going to bring up this. This is someone else talking about Cavill. Someone else appreciating Cavill. We all know Simu. How do you say his name, Chris? Simulu?
I have no idea. That probably sounds right.
I believe Simulu's about right.
Yeah, from what's that show? That is so good. Okay, so
Kim's Convenience.
Kim's Convenience is what he's probably secondly most famous for now that he's in the MCU. But now I verified this because I saw the interview, but I couldn't play the interview because it was like one of those comic book conventions where the audio is just absolutely terrible. Yeah. But so he shares a story that he ran into Henry Cavill after the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl. When he went up to Cavill, he recognized him right away, and Cavill gave him a bear hug, and then he secretly paid for his meal with his friends.
Oh,
because that's the Cavill thing to do.
Look at that. A man who deserves a franchise hugging a man who doesn't deserve a franchise. Oh, it's a beautiful tale as old as time. I don't hate the man.
No.
Simu Liu. I actually thought Shang-Chi was a pretty good film. Like, I actually quite enjoyed that one.
Oh, well, they had some A-listers in it.
You and about 6 other people in the world.
Yeah.
Just because it was clearly so popular that Marvel ran straight out to sign everyone up for a sequel that
never happened.
Oh, never mind.
Marvel does that though.
Yeah.
That's when the venture capital run freely, and the money was always available.
But I will say this: it did give us a better Mandarin than
infinitely. It gave us an actual Mandarin, unlike that
Satsuma.
I tell you, it's just ridiculous. That movie, Iron Man 3, to this day is still one of the worst things that has ever come out of the MCU. And there have been bad things.
Yeah.
Eternals happened.
Yeah.
The Marvels happened. I'm not going to list off. I could just right now just list off every Disney Plus show, but I'm not going to because I think that's a little. I think that's a little mean.
Yeah.
I'm not mean spirited, but Ant-Man and Quantumania happened. And
Oh
again,
my gosh. Basically, most things.
Most things post Endgame, yes,
Yes.
yes.
No. And I will say that it did go off to it did head off to a decent start after Endgame. There was a few solid films, and then it just went. Ooh.
But again, you and
Yeah.
I both agree.
Yeah.
Endgame should have ended it.
Oh yeah, that should have been. And by that time, they had the rights to X-Men. Yeah.
Yep.
So they should have been thinking about how can we do, you know, what we did with the MCU, but with X-Men.
Yep. End on a high. Step away for 5 years, even longer, maybe
Yep.
even. And then have people going, but where's the next one? Have them wanting for more.
That's
Then you
it.
come out and then you try to take their money again. Remember, if you see a man every single day of your life, and if you rob him the first time and you get $1,000, there's a thought that I'm gonna go rob him again the next day. Maybe you'll get a few hundred extra dollars, and if you keep going, eventually he'll have no money. When you're robbing people of their income, you got to wait a little bit and let it build back up. Even hunters understand this. That if you're hunting something, you must walk through the bushes very loudly with a gun, point it at the very obvious decoy, and wait till it surprises you on your left, then say, "Clever girl."
I understood that reference. That was, that worked in two levels. But there is a little game I want to play before. I got a whole lot of Jurassic Park content to, interact with and talk about and all that stuff. But this crossed my feed the other day. It's an old Nintendo ad from the 90s. And I'm going to ask you guys to play Guess the Actor.
When you decide to step up to this kind of power, this kind of challenge, this kind of flying, crashing, feeling, when you decide to get serious,
Oh my God.
there's only one place to come, the games of Super Nintendo. No one else creates this kind of experience, because no one else creates these kinds of games. Now you're playing with power, superpower.
Paul
Right.
Rudd.
Paul Rudd.
Holy cow.
He actually looks slightly younger
Slightly younger.
than he currently does, even though this was back in the 90s.
I think it was like 91 or something,
You know what? Back
Early
then,
90s.
I love ads back then. That's a solid ad. Here's the thing we want to sell you. Go buy the thing.
Yeah. Apparently Jack Black's in one too. I don't know if it was Nintendo or it could have been something else. I think it was Game Boy maybe. And then this won't make any sense to Neil at all because it's an Australian ad. Do you remember the Tim Tam ad, Chris?
Which one?
I want a packet of Tim Tams that never runs out.
Oh, yes.
Kate Blanchett.
Oh, that's how she got to start.
Yeah.
Before she destroyed a franchise called Borderlands.
Well, you know what happens when these award-winning actors, phenomenal actors get older. They'll do anything, And I mean, MCU
I still have no idea what they were trying to do with that film.
make it PG.
There's some logic there of here's a bunch of young upstart characters. How should we portray them in a film adaptation? Cast a bunch of people who are well and truly advanced in their careers, trying not to be unpleasant about age.
No,
They're old.
Yeah. No, well, here's
Yes.
the thing.
Say it.
No, but here's the thing. The MCU did
I'm
it
British. I'm not
perfectly.
allowed to be nasty to people.
Yeah.
They'll come and take me away.
Yeah. No, well, with the MCU, they kind of did it perfectly because they got these A-list characters. Like, they got Anthony Hopkins, and they fitted in perfectly. So they're probably thinking, oh, we'll do what they did. And it didn't work,
But those were side characters.
Yeah.
They were supporting roles.
Yeah. True.
Okay, here's the thing. There's a thing in Hollywood, you start your career as an extra, you might get a supporting role, and if you're lucky enough to be young, fit, attractive, or and also like Sydney Sweeney, you'll get lead roles. But then there's a period of your career whence your looks die, and you know, you have two choices. You could age gracefully into the support characters, the fathers, the older brothers, and that's your award season role.
Yeah.
That's when you start racking up those kills on those awards. Or you could try to hold on to your youth like Tom Hanks, sorry, not
Tom
sorry,
Cruise.
Tom Cruise does. And it's sad to see Kate Blanchett not leaning into the the
Judi Dench style.
Thank you.
Yes.
And who's that woman who's won like a bazillion awards? Arguably one of the honestly, and I'm like, I know because I'm sounding British, I'm like, it sounds like I'm being like condescending.
You're still talking like the devil. It's okay.
I know, it's fading. But I believe arguably one of the finest actors that has ever come out of that glittering cesspool of a pit that is Hollywood. I'm of course talking about someone that should have had more Academy Awards because they don't want to eclipse like Hepburn's 4 Academy Awards. They've kept it at people say you get 3. I'm of course talking about Meryl Streep.
Yes.
Who gracefully accepted her roles in the award season and has reaped the glory of it. And my God, I don't particularly like her movies because they're not not the kind of things I would watch. But God damn it, do I respect her in her career? God, salute to you, Meryl Streep, for the incredible 21 nominations, 3 wins, and 33 Golden Globe nominations, winning 8. That is a career. Now, you know what? I'm putting her up with Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington upon the pillars of acting. Neil, I'm assuming you've watched more Meryl Streep than I have. Would you agree upon her status as one of the legends?
I don't think she's particularly on my radar for the kind of films I like to watch.
Really, that is quite surprising.
Maybe she should have been in Borderlands.
No, you see, she's too
genuinely
classy.
Will not. If I were to steal that film and watch it, I would probably feel like I was owed some money back. Not that I would ever condone such activities. Just hypothetically, if I watched it for free, they would owe me something. I only have a certain number of days left on this globe, and that's a couple of hours I will never get back.
Are you Googling something, Chris?
No, I'm just looking at the glittering career of Meryl Streep.
The glittering career. All right, what do you say we dive into Jurassic Park stuff?
Let us dive into Jurassic Park.
Now I've got a few vids to play to get us in the mood.
I'm always in the mood for dinosaurs.
While scouring the internet, I found this one. It's called Jurassic Park with scientifically accurate dinosaurs. It's a short video.
Jamie, what is it?
It's a velociraptor.
It's inside. That's it.
But we all know, Jamie, that what they were Utah Raptors. But let's not get into that argument.
And we will.
Not yet.
And I won't deny that. Like they said, like I think it was like 6 months after the film was made, they actually found raptors that were similar size to the ones.
Yes, they called them Utah Raptors.
They wanted to, but they
wanted to call them. I think they wanted to call them actually after James Cameron, didn't they?
Steven Spielberg.
Or whatever. Oh, that's right, Spielberg. I keep forgetting. The movies are so similar.
No, but it's fun fact. James Cameron missed out on the rights to Jurassic Park by an hour.
Oh,
So they were fighting for it.
The old traditional way, pistols at dawn, or actually like more so lawyers?
Like phone calls.
Oh.
Now this is phenomenal. It is Jurassic Park with a cat.
Does it so well.
Absolutely still. This vision's based on movement.
Oh, honestly.
Now, I will give them a bit of a shout out. That channel is phenomenal. They do everything with that cat. They do a video called Claws instead of Jaws. They do Top Gun, and the cat's flying the. It is so ridiculous. Go check out Our Kitty. It is flippin' hilarious. Now, Chris, tell us about your favorite scene in the entire Jurassic Park franchise.
Oh, where do I begin? So, as you know, many people know, this is my scene. This scene, to me, is exactly what the Jurassic Park franchise is all about. This scene, for me, is canonical. It's iconic. It stirs something inside of you every single time you see it. It stirs for you why we love dinosaurs so much. Jamie, play the scene.
Now, Chris, I have a little bit of a surprise for you. This is an extended version. I'll play it with that word, and we'll talk about it after.
Alan.
My God. He's calling for help.
Alan.
What are you saying? What are you looking for?
Alan.
Wake up. I'm almost there.
That was incredible. Honestly, to me, that's canon. That's exactly that is exactly what they're saying. Every single time they roar now, they're saying Alan. That is canonical, Jamie.
You know,
the next time I sit down and watch that film is going to be a very different experience for me.
Well, I avoid the third one like we avoid Iron Man 3.
It's a good film. What are you talking about?
It is horrendously bad, and we'll get into that later because there is something I want to do later. But before we dive, because I got details about the new franchise I want to do, and we can rip that apart because it's probably going to be horrible.
Yep.
But I did track down a clip from Dinotopia. Now, Chris, you said you hadn't seen Dinotopia.
Been a while. I don't think I have.
There will be some familiar faces, but I want to know what your thoughts would be in a world like this, modernized. It is very British too.
This is delicious.
Fork, Carl?
Very kind to put us up, Zippo.
Oh, no, not at all. I find you very interesting species. I just love the way you jump about, very quick reactions, and the way you eat with your little knife and fork, cutting up all the food first. I mean, it's so funny.
So, do you have a human partner?
I was partner to Sylvie of the hatchery, but I've never sought another after my soulmate's death.
Wow. How'd you square a babe like that?
God. What?
Babe. Very colorful language. It's a spiritual union I don't think you quite understand yet.
Wow.
No,
British
I'll never
snobbery
meet
from a
another like
dinosaur.
her. Babe.
There you go.
I was
That's the-
Wentworth Miller.
Yes.
That was Wentworth Miller.
And I will say the acting in this show, even as I remember it, because I haven't watched it in a very, very long time, was awful. Like, it's just
No, that
horrendously.
honestly, that seemed terrible. Like,
Yeah.
and also, the fuck.
Yeah, it was like 20 something years ago. But would you like to see a Jurassic Park version of Planet of the Apes? Obviously, the dinosaurs would. The first word would be Alan, but
Alan, yes. Look, as long as like Alan is like their version of Caesar, where then yes, I'm all aboard. A raptor being raised by a human, and obviously like getting intelligence, and then obviously they call the raptor Alan, and then he takes that, then then he's like claws together, strong, and then he created the uprising. Although in that scenario, the humans don't stand much chances to be like, oh, we're gonna go fight the T-Rexes. Like,
yeah,
are you?
No.
Like, really? Like, I don't see. But also, then, yeah, I don't see them fighting well enough. Like, so you have to, the humans have to have a lot of guns, like just like an insane amount of guns to make that fight even remotely fair.
A lot of big guns.
You're right, not just your normal handguns. No, I think you need something a bit more substantial to take down a dinosaur than a handgun.
I don't know. What about John Wick? Would he?
That's a good question. Would John Wick fight a T-Rex with a handgun?
No, the T-Rex would be his pet. And then someone else would kill the T-Rex.
Ah, yes. Yes.
But it can't be a full-grown T-Rex. It's got to be,
a baby T-Rex, yeah.
Baby T-Rex.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then, like, oh my God, like, how big is a baby T-Rex, though? Like,
well, you've seen Lost World.
Lost World?
Oh, yeah.
Big enough to carry and attract 2 adult T-Rexes to throw your trailer off a cliff.
Fair enough. It's been a while since I've seen that film, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, what I thought we were going to do a little bit later was break down, because the one thing that Jurassic Park franchise gets right are the opening. Every opening to one of those movies is dynamite. Excuse the pun. But let's dive into what this new franchise is going to be, or this new trilogy, and rip it apart or say what's good about it.
All right, go for it, Jamie.
Okay, so this is the overall plot that I've found. 5 years after the events of Jurassic World Dominion, the planet's ecology has proven largely inhospitable to dinosaurs. Those remaining exist in isolated equatorial environments with climates resembling the one that they once thrived in. The 3 most colossal creatures within the tropical biosphere hold the key to a drug that will bring miraculous life-saving benefits to humankind.
Oh, it's Avatar again, isn't it?
This action-packed new chapter in the franchise sees an intrepid team racing to secure DNA samples from the 3 most colossal creatures across the land, sea, and air.
Oh, that sounds stupid.
Yeah. What makes it sound even more stupid, and our intro with the devil and Dino-Riders all the more funny, is that the man directing it is a guy called David Leitch, who directed the Fast and Furious spin-off Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Why do they do this? Why?
Money.
I'm a director. I don't have the greatest track record. Well, we're going to give you some minor things, and like you build up a reputation. Pick your own, find yourself, your style. No, we're going to pick someone that knows absolutely sod all about anything and give them one of the biggest movie franchises around.
Yeah.
Sadly, a lot of this going around in the last 10 years. and not once has it paid off.
No.
I can't believe that is the saddest thing.
Yeah. Now the guy screenwriting it is an original writer, not from the first one, but the second one, The Lost World. So they're bringing him back for it. But it's just you can't do way too much with the concept.
Like, look, one, that makes no sense because clearly in the last scene of the film, the minion showed the dinosaurs living in the world fine.
Yeah.
They were everywhere. Two, if they have to be in certain climates, how do they raise them in theme parks? Which is they had a successful theme park. There's so many like
plot holes,
like not just plot holes, just like stupid no.
Yeah. Because the movie isn't even released yet, and like you got time to,
Look, they got time to fix that stupid idea, but I don't honestly, I don't see them.
They need to get DNA from the largest dinosaurs of land, sea, and air.
Yep.
Okay. Well, these dinosaurs have been extinct for at least 64 million years until they were brought back through genetic science.
Yeah.
So they've got the DNA.
Yeah.
They had to have it in the first place in order to make them.
Yeah.
Look, you're just trying to put facts in a dinosaur film. Like,
to their credit, though, not the new one, the old one. Like in Jurassic World, one of my favorite things about Jurassic World was so since the 90s, all these new discoveries have come out about dinosaurs, and they didn't look anything, or they looked a little different than what they envisioned in the first film and the books. And then they did the wonderful arc of Henry Wu.
Yep.
And his epic speech saying, it's like, you didn't want realistic, you wanted scary, and like saying like that they monkeyed with the, DNA and the scientific method and all that to create something more scary than what they actually were. So that was cool about Jurassic World.
But having said that, I don't know, I think that T-Rex, like, their T-Rex is still pretty good in terms of look. Yeah, like, scientific rendering now says it's probably a little bit chunkier. It's a little bit heavier in terms of its, But apart from that, that's still a pretty good looking dinosaur. Like,
oh yeah, it's iconic.
Rexy's been working out. That's it.
Yeah. He's
chunky. No, our girl works out.
Actually, it's probably more just Hollywood body standards. They probably saw the original T-Rex and went, make it sexy. It's like, oh no, that's not what T-Rexes look like. T-Rexes work for a living.
It's good that they when they acknowledge that the dinosaurs look different in Jurassic Park 3, that the velociraptors looked different than they did in the other two.
Yeah,
because they had the quills, like the feathers.
Yeah,
and people were saying, "Oh, this is because science is now theorizing that they had feathers." But why did these ones have it? And it's only when you go into the deep lore of the movie franchise and you realize that after Site B was abandoned, Henry Wu brought a team back to Site B and created more dinosaurs, which is why the velociraptors from 3 look different to the ones in 2, because they were actually doing illegal science, which is why some of the dinosaurs in 3 weren't on InGen's original list.
Oh, that makes sense.
Nerd.
Dr. Wu and his illegal science.
I love the arc of Henry Wu, just from that little subtle side character in the first film, like almost like a brush away character, and then comes back as like,
yeah, I built the evil dinosaur. No one could top my amazing creation of Indominus Rex. But what if Indominus Rex had an app where you could find other Indominus Rex in your area, and then so you could then order it around? So like Uber. Yes, that's exactly what dinosaurs need.
See, we've talked about this a million times, Neil. That Chris will not let it go. The laser pointing raptor.
Uber Raptor.
The laser pointing raptor.
Allow me to guess. Okay. If we point this laser at a target and trigger a certain frequency, the Indoraptor will become enraged and attack this target. This laser is mounted to some form of AR-15, which,
Thank
rather
you!
than flickering a light, could project a 5.56 by 45 millimeter bullet into said target. If the target is further away, there are rifles with bigger bullets that go further, and you don't have to have a crazy, genetically engineered, psychotic pseudo dinosaur to do it for you.
I've always, again, you shoot someone with your rifle. The cops come. They go, well, we have to find out the type of rifle, the make of the rifle, to standardize around. The chances of them finding the actual killer, unlike Law and Order shows, is actually quite hard because, again, standardized rounds. NATO round is standard. Like, you go to a murder and go, they're mauled by a raptor. Who owns raptors? And then that narrows down their search parameters quite significantly. Like again, I make fun of it all the time, but it's still funny. And I still think, again, I actually don't even think the Uber Raptor is such a bad, like, cool. It's a cool looking dinosaur. And they made up in the Dominion they had like a slightly better version of the Uber Raptor. What were the ones that had the cages?
Oh, the Atrociraptor.
Yeah.
See, my answer to that is like, if you had the option of driving your car to work or riding on the back of a dinosaur, what would you pick?
I mean, obviously, don't ride the dinosaur. Obviously, ride a dinosaur.
You know, so that's if you could control the raptor, like you'd like it. You that's a cool thing to be able to do.
I'm not saying it isn't.
Yeah, I get it. It's not really efficient unless you've released like.
Again, like I said, unless you have an app, where it tells you where the Indoraptors in your area are, and so you can then point it at the target, and then like then there's a buzzing sound. The Indoraptor pulls out his app, and then he can accept your job or not, and he'd be like, "Oh, that's a 3-star client. It's a bit dicey. Yeah, but he's like, you know what? I need the $17. He'll accept. Then he'll go kill your target. Then he's going, you know, he'll knock on your door and be like, that was a 5-star kill. So I'm just saying, you know. Like,
and do these raptors have British accents?
They do.
Yeah.
Hello. No, yes, I killed the Lord Mayor of London for you, as was expected. I feel that the $15 and then the $5 tip you left is somewhat inefficient to my work. I had to scale a large fence, kill 5 bodyguards to get to him. I believe that's at least a tenner. I mean, am I wrong on this one? It's like, well, look, you know, the app gave me the options of saying like 5%, 10%. I know the app says 5, 10%, but there's another option for any amount. And I would have appreciated if you had gone back in and pressed any amount and put in at least 10 extra pounds for me murdering the mayor. I'm not saying that. Look, I appreciate the business. I just feel this is not into. I feel like you're not treating this contractual negotiation well. And then obviously the British will say like, "What are you gonna do about it?" He goes, "Well, I am an Indoraptor. I can rip your face off, but you know, oh, I can have you barred from the app." Oh, okay, I'll pay. See, this is why I think I know Jamie, I've changed my mind.
You want an assassination?
No, I want to combine Dinotopia with modernized with Indoraptors, and so I can have British Indoraptors with their Uber apps accepting assassination jobs.
Well, all I can think of is John Wick and the you know the Continental.
Filled with Uber Raptors.
Yeah, and it's like I'm thinking of Bill. I wasn't going to say Brontosaurus or Brachiosaurus, but that wouldn't fit in the building. So maybe a Triceratops. It's like, Mr. Wick, welcome.
No. The Continental guy that had the Continental, Winston, is an actual like Velociraptor, like the true size, like chicken size one. Well, if it isn't,
The chicken
well, if it isn't Mr. Wick, welcome to the New York Continental. How can I prevail your sir? It makes perfect sense. You know, he's not as threatening as the Uber, the Uber Raptors.
It could always be one of the compies. That'd be funny.
That would be again something small like that would be hilarious. But more importantly, I still want the John Wick Uber Raptor married to a human woman, just completely normal. Just completely normal. Like, are they sitting at the funeral with like just this giant. You see the funeral with just people walking by him, and like I saw it. He lives in a house with he presses the doorbell, and like everything.
So Raptor Dad.
Raptor Dad. Oh my god, that should be a film. Raptor Dad.
Well, there's Velocipasta.
Raptor Dad.
Has Neil, have you not seen Velocipasta?
No.
We made it 20 minutes in and it's that bad. He is a pastor. Like the whole movie starts with him preaching a message in a church, and then his parents get killed by a car explosion, but they don't have the budget for a car explosion, so it literally says car explosion. Then he gets
I've just Googled it.
He gets scratched by like a raptor claw or something, and then he turns into a velociraptor. But it's a paper mache velociraptor. It is horrendously bad, and we only made it 20 minutes through. And me and Chris used to watch a lot of B-grade films back in the day. We didn't make it through this one.
I typed it in and hit images.
Now, are we talking about Jurassic Park now, Jamie? Like we've gone a bit of a tangent.
I know we have.
Let's circle back to the topic.
You want to circle back to the topic? Hey, raptors, kind of, Well, do you want to go through these intros, or do you want to talk about our overall, favorite moments of the franchise and stuff like that?
Let's talk about favorite members of the franchises. Neil, what is your what's a memory that sticks out to you?
The first film, I was lucky enough to be one of the few people my age that read the book before they watched the film. All back in the day, you had to do a lot more hype with your promo work because we didn't have the internet to nearly to the extent that we do nowadays, where you can hype a film very easily, get a bunch of influencers to talk about it. Back then, it was all cross promotion, special edition pizza boxes, a McDonald's promotion, and So I was hyped for this film long before it hit the cinemas, and I got hold of a copy of the book. I think I was in my last year of primary school, and I read it, and by the time the film hit the cinemas, I was so hyped for it. I'll always remember the helicopter scene when they're making their way to the island, and a combination of the John Williams score and that waterfall, and then they land, they get in the jeeps, and it's very grand, it's adventure, and then they get into the jeeps, and then just as they're driving off, they close the big heavy metal gate behind them, and the music takes on a slightly ominous tone as you see the sign that says caution, 10,000 volts.
The classic cutaway to a sign.
And besides that, there were very few dinosaurs in the first film, different species. And a lot of the promotion was T-shirts that you'd find in various places, lunchboxes. And the dinosaur that I loved the most out of the first one was the Dilophosaurus. Or as all of the sweatshirts and hoodies in the supermarkets would name it, Spitter.
Yep.
Because they decided that the Dilophosaurus would spit venom in this one, which was also in the book.
Yeah.
And but they added in the crazy frill crest thing. I don't know what you call it.
That was sick.
But that's a scene I will always remember, is the little dinosaur hooting, popping up from behind a tree, playing with Wayne Knight, and almost like, oh look, it's playing peekaboo. Oh, how cute! Yeah. And then he says, "Oh, you're not like your big brothers. Oh, okay. Stick, stupid stick." And it looks back. It looks at him. I says, "Oh, no wonder you're extinct." And then it just goes. The frills pop out. Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
And it spits at him. And that's probably one of my favorite bits of that film. That whole scene. Everyone likes the bad guy who causes all of the kerfuffle in the first place, getting his comeuppance. And oh boy, he got his comeuppance, all right.
That is a good comeuppance.
It does beg the question though, like the key line that John Hammond says the most in that entire film is "spared no expense," but he has a one-man IT crowd, like one-man IT team, you know.
Spared no expense, but they allude to this in the film and they go into it in depth in the book. Was that Dennis Nedry was feeling very underappreciated financially for all of the work he did, which is why he went to Biosyn and accepted the job offer to do a bit of the old industrial espionage.
Yeah.
So spared no expense, apart from when it comes to paying the staff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
But
And
that's not what he meant by spared no expense.
Yeah.
He spared no expense on his dinosaurs. Like,
yeah. Yeah, and in the book, he's like John Hammond's completely different character to an extent. Like he's very, like in it for the money, doesn't care about people, that sort of thing. And then in the movie, they're like, grandfather, yay, daddy.
I do have to say, I really do prefer the movie version of John Hammond to the book version for that reason. He has this
Santa Claus-like feeling.
Yeah.
I mean, he did also play Santa, didn't he, in Miracle on 34th Street. I really like the jolly old man who is, oh, the lawyers talk about money. No, everyone should have a right to see these creatures.
Yeah.
I've got my grandkids. Oh, it's the children make it magic. And
yeah.
Then to see his dreams broken down as he realizes, as Laura Dern tells him off, you never had control.
Yeah.
And he realizes that by the end of the film, Mr. Hammond, after careful consideration, I've decided not to endorse your part. He says, so have I.
Yeah.
Let me talk about something I quite enjoyed about this film. So, growing up, as any young Korean would, we dreamed about world domination and ruling through power. But obviously, as well, we loved dinosaurs. Two things, fairly standard. And I would love watching dinosaur documentaries all the time, and I had a million dinosaur toys. And my fellow friend, who was given to me as the anchor point to my humanity, so that I wouldn't rule the world, Jamie Bryden. We both loved dinosaurs. We loved them. They were the greatest things in the world. We had millions of toys, and
don't know where they are now.
Then I still have millions. Like, again, my son has the greatest dinosaur collection of toys.
Yeah.
And they're his, not they're mine. Because there's like this German brand that make these really expensive, like $60 per toy, and because they're hand painted, handcrafted. They are incredible, and I have all of them. And like, every single time my son plays with them, I watch them like going like, "Don't you dare! Like, don't you think about damaging my beautiful dinosaur?" Anyway, but I digress. A film came out. It was all in the magazine. We had magazines back then, and they showed like the shot of the spitting dinosaur, and they showed all those things, and then such an amazing, amazing film that I would just love to have been able to share it with my best friend who couldn't go see the film, but I could. So I went and saw the film, and my friend didn't. And I never understood why he was not allowed to go see the thing that we had both dreamed of. Dinosaurs. Jamie, why weren't you allowed to go see the film?
Because my parents wouldn't let me.
And why is that?
Probably because it would be too scary or something like that. I don't know. I had to wait to the VHS. But then, ironically, when we went and saw it together at Hoyt's in Penrith, 25th year anniversary, 3D, the entire two front rows left because there were screaming children.
That was true.
Like, I think it was like 10 minutes in, or something like that. It was just like the Raptors, shoot, And they're like going, no, mommy, I'm dying, you know, and then they all left. So maybe I would have been that, you know, but you know, parents' calls, you know. That's why I, you know, didn't get to see it. But I think that's why the second one always holds a special place.
It was the one you're allowed to go see in the
It was
cinema.
the one I saw, and not only it was like a big birthday, like it was for my birthday or something. It came
Yes,
out
I remember.
right on my birthday, and we all went there, and
It was awesome.
it was amazing because I love Ian Malcolm. He's just such a cool character.
I like how that movie was multiple movies in one. There was like
Yeah.
multiple subplots running. It was
Oh yeah,
going to the island, rescuing the daughter.
yeah.
Cameraman who was also like, he was like, oh, I'm the special guy that's gonna like. He had a pair of pliers. Ooh,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah.
bought pliers. I'm pretty sure those cages could be cut. I mean, again, I digress. I digress.
Has to be some kind of Greenpeace activist, or Greenpeace had kicked him out for being a bit too radical.
Yeah. But if he really was Greenpeace, he would be like, we should save the dinosaurs by killing them all, and that's how you save them.
Yeah.
It's Greenpeace.
But this is the 90s. Is that were they always been like that, or have they changed their ways, like Peter?
No, so the 90s Greenpeace might have actually had purpose. So you're right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, so it's back then, and it was based on a book at the same time. And it's funny because the book had like 3 dudes going to get eggs from the island, and then the movie's like, no, huzzah! You know, just like,
speaking of friendships and betrayal,
okay.
let's talk about. I want to talk a little bit about when the Jurassic World came out.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought us expensive tickets for the opening showing on a Saturday. I said to them, "Oh, let's make sure we get there early. We have to get good seats." And Jamie's like, "Don't be." This is before you had seat numbers, right? I said we're gonna get there an hour early, and Jamie was like, "Going, Chris, you are fucking ridiculous.
I didn't say
that is so stupid. You are the dumbest Korean alive."
In blemishing.
We got there 45 minutes early. We stood in the line. Jamie, how long was that line?
Oh, you know, in comparison to what, The Force Awakens, or
No. How long was the line, Jamie?
You know, it was out the door a bit.
It was out the door, down the stairs of the cinema. Did we get good seats because we were first?
I can't remember, to be honest.
We got the best seats because we were first. Anyway,
Yeah.
but where the betrayal comes, so the movie starts, broken parents' marriage, irresponsible niece, love, like awesome stuff. The train pulls in, and then they hit you with the classic score, and you go like, oh, and that just absolutely resonates into your soul. To share this moment with my best friend, only to learn that later on he had gone to see the film earlier without me. Jamie, I need you to explain and justify your level of betrayal.
I honestly can't remember that. Yeah, like that, you know. But no, you got yours. You got yours 10 years later.
Again, this no. You explain to me why.
I honestly can't remember. Like, I don't know.
It was such a betrayal at the time. Like,
yeah.
Well, you couldn't wait till the freaking like.
Probably not. No, I seriously don't remember that. You know.
See. To him, it was to me. It was an emotional betrayal. To Jamie, it was a Tuesday.
It was a Tuesday.
Wow, you know. Oh, you know what I was like back then. You know.
Yeah, it's very similar to you are now because you don't change.
No, I wait.
But Neil, how did you feel about the reboot Jurassic World? Did you also the continuation? Did you feel like I honestly, to me, it's some of my favorite movie of all time. Oh, such a good. But anyway, what do you feel about? How did you feel about that film?
I was very mixed on it, to be honest. It was really something to actually see the Jurassic Park world, whatever you brand it, to see it fully functioning, to see it open. to see full crowds in there, not just everything's under construction. We've only actually got the core tour, and you're going to trial it out. And oh no, it didn't work. To see it functioning, to see everything working, to see it all realized was really fun. Especially bits like you ever seen where they're feeding the T-Rex and they throw the nice little reference to the original film where they throw a flare in to bring it in towards the goats.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. And at the same time, I didn't like the fact that they went away from the concrete and thatched roofs and went towards glass and steel. It was a very different aesthetic. That kind of it's just a weird thing. I always really liked the original Jurassic Park aesthetic, and the Jurassic World one. I wasn't as big on.
I do, So, but I think it was meant to. Let's be honest. They're making it trying to look like Disneyland because they were just trying to throw a shot at their competitor. And not too subtle bar,
but Jurassic World had big crowds. And all the rides worked.
Oh, so it's Universal Studios then. But I complain about this, but I already know the answer to my own question, which is basically like the corporate lady's like, oh my god, the numbers are down, but it's a large corporation, so like 1% less growth, they'll be like, oh my god, the world is ending. So I understand that, like, that's just their mindset of consumerism, and that's why they made the Indominus Rex. So they're going, oh my god, like,
world is ending, quick, create a monster.
It's like, oh my god, like the year before, last year we made $10 billion in profit. This year we made 9.8. And like, honestly, if you say that in a boardroom of people, you'd see some board members faint, and people get buckets and vomiting into it, like, oh no, like,
just not Disney, but
no, sorry. Any company that wants to make money, like they all should, like, again, company I work for had a very similar thing where they missed their target by like literally like 200 million, and then like people were like going, oh my god, like we're dead, oh we're gonna fire everyone, like it's like, because that's what happens when you work for a company that has money, is successful. They want more money. They don't want some of the money. They want all of the money. But I like the fact some of the jokes in it where like the guy was wearing like the traditional the original Jurassic Park shirt. He goes, that park was legit. Like people died. Like
Just wait till the end of the day, love.
I know.
It was only very recently I realized that the actor that plays that guy is Deadpool's mate. I can't remember the actor's name, but that only just clicked to me just last week.
No, that was that's the guy from New Girl.
It was the same guy, wasn't it?
I don't think so.
I think so.
He's because he's from New Girl and he voices Peter, one of the Spider-Mans in Into the Spider-Verse films.
Yeah.
Old Peter.
But
I know the guy you're thinking of.
You're different guy.
I can't think
of
of
that film gave us two incredible things. One, a whole bunch of zookeepers doing photos of like them holding back their animals, like like with their hands out, like stretched out, like with all their zoo animals.
A lot of memes.
Oh, so many memes of that one because it's such an awesome scene. And it once and for all proved a very valuable point.
Yeah.
If you put it elevated the status of one of the four great Chris's. Legendary Chris Pratt.
Yes, it did.
He stands tall amongst the Chris's as the legend he is. I'd even say he's probably the greatest of all the Chris's. Yeah. Well, actually, Neil, where would you rank the Chris's? Hine, Pratt, Hemsworth, Evans. Where would you, in terms of how would you rate, or where would you rank the holy foursome of the legendary Chris's?
Hine, Pratt, Evans, and who?
Hemsworth.
Oh. If I rank Hemsworth low, you're both likely to attack me.
Oh, hey,
No,
no.
I like Chris Hemsworth because he's done some very different films since just being Thor, and he's proven himself. Chris Pine was great in the fourth D&D movie, and he was quite enjoyable in the Star Trek reboots, and that's about all I can say that's good about Star Trek reboots. That's not his fault.
That's a fair assessment.
I'm completely indifferent to Chris Evans. Chris Pratt, unfortunately, this is probably just me being limited, but everything I see Chris Pratt in, he's basically Star-Lord. Owen Grady in Jurassic World is Star-Lord if he worked in a dinosaur park instead of got abducted by aliens and went on to become an Avenger.
Yeah. You're not wrong. Look, again, I'm not saying you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong, because he does sort of like...
Some people are really going to hate me for that.
No. Well, have you watched The Terminal List?
I started watching The Terminal List. I got about 3/4 of the way through the first episode, but it was not long after my fourth child was born. And I spent that time... I put the subtitles on so I could pay attention to the story while baby was screaming at me. But I had to keep pacing up and down the room and keep moving to keep him settled, and I couldn't focus on it, and I've just not had the time to get back to it. What I did see, it did seem like he was not Star-Lord. I haven't seen enough in order to really appreciate it.
Look, to me, Pratt reigns above all, because let's be honest, he was Star-Lord in some of the most awesome films. He was also in dinosaur movies.
Yes.
And in Dominion, he showed his muscles, where he threw a lasso over a dinosaur and managed to pull it, stop it from the back of a horse. That 700-pound dinosaur was nothing compared to his muscular, 200-pound frame. That's how science works.
Yeah.
But again, look, it's funny. I nitpick so much about these movies, but I still absolutely fucking love them. They're still my favorite. They're still my favorite movies. And let's be honest, in the Great War of toys, there's one toy brand that reigns supreme. In every single store, and that's why they're making another movie. They don't care if that movie is good or bad. That movie could be dog shit. And you know what? They'll be like, who cares? The amount of toys we will sell at Christmas of this movie. Because you go into the toy store, and it's just basically there's one near where I live, and it's a fairly big one. There's an entire wall of dinosaur toys, and the vast majority of those are Jurassic World Dominion toys. It's and then you go to that same toy store, and there's a little tiny bracket of Star Wars. It's this tiny 2 little shelf thing, yeah, look, it's some Star Wars. Do you want some dinosaurs? It's that's what boys want dinosaurs.
So did anyone get that impression that with when I watched Dominion, after Fallen Kingdom, and we're going to work through them, we'll get there, but after Fallen Kingdom, I was quite disillusioned with it, so I waited for to watch it at home, the Dominion, and I really felt like, as I mentioned earlier, the first film had very few actual species of dinosaur in it. And I remember the toys at the time. I'm sure they had a lot more species for the toy range.
Of course they do. It's always the case.
But do you not feel that Dominion tried to cram in as many different species as possible just so they could make that toy rack heaving with all sorts of creatures? I really felt like that was we've got a different type of raptor now, so now we can sell you a Atrociraptor, Velociraptor, Blue, and the Pyroraptor. We can sell you all these. We could have just had Velociraptor, but then we can't sell you quite as many toys.
So Claire in the movie, within the movie, was thinking about the numbers.
Again,
we need more toys.
it was important because that movie only cost them $265 million. It made $1 billion, but it made probably so much more back on toys, that it's like $1 billion in the box office. But even today, how long ago did Dominion happen? Like that movie happened? Like
it's like 3-4 years ago, was it?
If you go to any toy store, you will still see Dominion toys of dinosaurs, and they're not. It's not because they've been sitting there for a while. It's because people have bought them and they've restocked the ones that people want, and then people come and buy them some more. Because honestly, and like again, welcome to the toy podcast. I'm host, like they're actually just very good. They're actually very well made toys. Like if you want a good dinosaur toy, I want to buy them for my son, but they've got sort of a lot of moving parts. I'm like going, he's too stupid. He'll probably chew that. And like again, but they're just solidly made toys. Although I did buy him a dinosaur. I think it's like $199. Oh no, $99, and it's a T-Rex, and it's the same size as him because it's how big the it's like a massive one. And he barely plays with it. But I'm going, yeah, it's not for you.
So what you're saying, he could ride it if you want.
You could ride it. It's awesome. But I was saying that's for me. Now in the trilogy of the Lost World, the World trilogy, there was let's talk about Fallen Kingdom. 400, I think it's 400 million it cost them to make, and made about 800 million back. So it was considered like, actually, no, did it make how? Let me double check that.
So you're saying it just broke even?
Yeah. So let's just double check that. It's actually no, it did much better. I thought, yeah. So it did 1.3 billion. So yeah, it still made tons of money because it's a dinosaur film.
That is a ridiculous budget.
Yeah, but that's a huge budget by comparison to the other films. Like I don't know. I mean, like was the craft services
what did they spend that money on?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Obviously, they needed to hire all those dinosaurs, you know. And...
Oh, there were a lot of dinosaurs in that one as well, though, weren't there?
Like that was a huge budget by comparison to the other films. Like what the hell? Anyway, now we've laughed about Uberraptor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where that girl got her science degree, where she goes like, to save this dinosaur, we'll use T-Rex blood. Again, I'm not saying that she's wrong. I'm just saying like, I don't think the science checks out. Let's talk about the moment of the film that just stays with you, Jamie. Do you remember? You know the sad moment I'm talking about. The moment
is that a wharf? Something to do with a wharf?
There's a wharf.
And let's ignore the science of a volcano eruption. You know,
the fact that they would all be dead in a second. Yes. Let's go there.
But it was a genetically engineered volcano.
Yeah, it was engineered by moviegoers to make sure that
that volcano was a clone.
Oh, I see.
Yes, but the brachiosaurus at the docks, literally going, "Help me!" Ironically, it could have walked into the water, you know, but that was sad, and
sad.
It was even more so sad when the director comes out and puts the final dagger in your heart by going, "Yeah, that's the one from the first film."
Oh, dick! What a dick!
You're killing me. You know?
My firstborn son is a big dinosaur fan. He loves the films. He wants to watch Fallen Kingdom, and because the third act especially gets quite dark with the manor and the Indoraptor, I'd said I'd rather we wait a little bit. He's a sensitive little thing.
Wait.
My wife decided not to do that and let him watch it when she was home with him while I was in work. I received a phone call shortly after lunch, and I can hear him crying in the background. And my wife says, "Can you please talk to your son?" I said, "My son, what has he done?" We're in the middle of watching Fallen Kingdom. I went, "Oh God, the brachiosaur at the dock, really?" I've not been able to stop him crying.
Yeah, and then did he even make it to the manor?
I think he did. He did finish the film. What an emotionally manipulative scene.
Oh, it is. It is.
This is like the action film where the hero has a dog. You go,
Yep,
oh
yep,
no,
yep.
that dog's not making it past the
No,
first
no.
act.
My favorite action trope: the video footage of the wife doing the recording that she knows she's going to die because she's so in love with the main character's action hero. Like the oh my god, why are you filming me? I look so silly right now. Like I'm going like she's dead. Like that girl is just she is dead.
Yep.
But I mean, what a coincidence! You have a boy who likes dinosaurs. Like that's such a random and weird thing. It's almost like that's genetically hard coded in their souls.
Yes. What do you say we break down these intros? Because it's one of my favorite things about Jurassic Park are the intros. I think one we'll talk about when I get to it, but I feel like it falls flat in the franchise, but only for one reason. But so we're not going to watch the entire intros of just enough to give us, the nostalgia memory of knowing what we're doing in chronological order. Remember when IGN read an article, "How to watch Jurassic Park in order"? Like they literally did.
Start with one, and you could go forward.
Then two, then three.
There's two things that IGN do that make no sense to me. One is how to watch a series in chronological, in order, whatever. And 9 times out of 10, it is in order of release. And the second one is endings explained. It's just
people would say, "Oh, that's because they're using AI to write articles." I'll be like, "No, AI is smart. AI writes good articles."
And incredible scripts too.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've all seen the first one.
Shoot her!
The classic line. Shoot her.
There's something about the 90s films where they didn't have a lot of CGI that they just had to make it work. It's.
You mean like a practical effects?
It's charming, Jamie. It's charming.
Isla Nubla.
This is why Jamie's mom didn't let him see it.
Probably.
That POV shot.
Yep.
The
very first.
I would have loved to seen more of that guy. Get his name.
Clever girl.
Bob Peck.
It's the shorts.
Robert Muldoon.
Yeah, that's it.
Who's the actor?
Bob Peck. Where the light shines through this gate.
Yeah. That.
Classic. Oh, 90s. You just did it right.
Yeah.
You just did it right, didn't you? Shoot her!
There you go. Now, where would you rank that one on intros for Jurassic Park?
It's probably it's up there.
First.
It has to be probably first because again, it's my favorite part of cinema sometimes where it's like you don't get to see the monster. You know, you'd sense the tension around. Like it's a perfectly set up scene that I don't think
out at the very beginning where they're all the workers are stood there, the trees are moving, and you think, because you know you're going to watch a dinosaur film, and you think, it's a dinosaur, and it turns out no, it's a dinosaur in a crate being pushed in by a forklift.
Yeah.
And I love the 90s lack of safety. Where they're going, should we tranquilize this dinosaur to move him into a zoo pen? No! Screw you! We can do this with 50 dudes. Wait, there's one tranquilizer. Shut up. You shut up and you stand over there with your safety ideas, your stupid safety man.
That's it.
All these people have tasers, and there's Robert Muldoon with his Spas 12 shotgun. And as soon as that guy falls on the ground, the first thing he does, if you watch that scene back, is he puts it down. And then he starts screeching at everyone else, shoot her.
Yeah.
Bro, you had the semi-automatic shotgun right there, and the first thing you did was put it down.
Yeah, that's it. All right, moving on to the second one. I love this intro. It screams, "I love being alive." You know.
I love a good "I love being alive" scene.
Yeah. No, I did cut out the first part with the family having lunch on the beach and all that stuff. Just randomly coming to the island.
How did they get there? It's
they reference it, you know, but they're rich.
But they're rich people. They've arrived on a yacht.
Yeah. Classic wiggle of the bush.
Yep.
Hello there. What are you? A little bird or something? Are you hungry? Take a bite.
It's always the British.
Yes.
It's good. Come on, I won't hurt you. Mommy! Daddy, you've got to come see this!
Feeding the locals.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Kathy, darling, lunch is ready. Are you looking at this? I'm afraid there isn't enough to go around. Paul?
Kathy?
You hurry up!
I love this transition. That scene is actually I think it's referenced in the book. They talk about, you know, they don't.
I think it is, yeah.
They don't go into it in great detail. They just reference, oh, there was a rich couple that was over here and they
lost their daughter.
No, well, apparently she doesn't die.
They referenced it in was it in the original book where one of the questions was, had dinosaurs already made it off the island?
Yeah,
and they had babies that had been attacked in their cots.
Yes.
Cheerful. Now, I might have disgraced myself by getting the actor from Deadpool wrong. I don't think they ever said in the film.
Yeah. No, she did live, because I'm pretty sure in this movie, it's because it's part of why Hammond reached out to Ian Malcolm, and he referenced that girl getting attacked, and he's like, "Oh, don't worry, she's fine. I mean, they don't go beyond the fact that she's fine, but she could be, like, you know, in a hospital bed.
She's alive,
yeah,
but permanently disfigured.
Yeah.
I might have disgraced myself with the wrong actor earlier, but
Yes.
Am I right in saying that the father in that scene we just watched, that's Rupert Giles' friend from Buffy?
I believe it is.
Yes, you are correct. Some of that British knowledge for British people.
All right. We've already seen this one, Jamie, but play it anyway.
Yeah, I've snipped this one down. Look, this intro doesn't make much sense to me at all.
Dinosaur.
Why are they flying? Like, how they get a permit to, you know, get out there?
Not yet.
I want to know what happens to the people in the boat. They don't explain that.
I think it was the Spinosaurus.
Did they reference that?
I know, but it's the only one that makes sense.
What happened to them? I I don't know. Oh my god. We're gonna crash! Alright, no we're not. We're gonna crash!
Yeah.
This entire sea, but we're going towards this one rock.
Let go of the rope!
Yeah.
Move your hands!
Look at that one rock just there. Go straight for it.
Here we go!
Yeah.
Wait, I'm the boating person, but I'm pretty sure if you take your hand off the throttle, they stop.
Maybe the hand was still left on the throttle in the same way that the hand was still on the button in the second film at the end.
Yep. I stand corrected.
Yeah. That's not the only problem I have with that third film.
Oh, it's flawed.
Oh, massively flawed. Even Alan Grant's change of character, like he's so calm and collected in the first film, and in this one he's just screaming like, ah, you know.
Again, it was a paycheck for him. It's fine. Let's play the thing.
I won't play all of this because this is just the I love being alive without the payoff, I think. Yeah, happy little family.
Oh, yes, the I love being alive.
Yet everyone in this entire intro lives, you know.
True. That's not very good. That's a very poor I love being alive scene.
Yeah.
Honey, what are you doing?
I mean, the parents could have come with them and died, you know, or the.
2 hours.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna kill the kids.
It's 36 minutes away, 60 with traffic. How many minutes to get your little butt in the van? How many of those? Feed the monster under your bed? Yes.
Now I do love
every day.
this line from the father.
So I don't forget what you look like.
I'm only gonna be gone a week.
Zach, you're not going off to war here. Please.
I
love
see
you.
you later.
Vámonos.
Bye. Okay.
Bye.
Yeah, but that's
Young love.
You know what's funny? That kid's life has changed forever.
Yeah.
He's a different man now.
Yeah. Now this is one of my favorites, and I've got a lot of. I'll get up to. I've got a lot of questions about the one from Fallen Kingdom.
Oh, this is where they're going after the bones.
Yeah.
To make the Uber Raptors.
Yeah. Now we're gonna have to what do you call it? Do an analysis of this intro because there's a lot of questions I have about these people and their circumstances later on.
Relax. Anything in here be dead by now.
Why is he so sure of that?
Because he was told by upper management.
Yeah, and they always will tell him accurately. Not at all lie to the people who's risking their lives.
Yeah.
The Indominus Rex.
It's the claw.
The claw.
Yeah, that's it. Getting the that flipping light won't attract anything at all.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. There's no.
You can tell this guy's a horror director.
Specimen collected, sent to the surface.
Roger that. Air 1, clear for takeoff. Begin tracking.
Copy that.
Go, go!
Tracking on.
The one thing that carries through all the franchises is the bush shake.
Yep.
Sure, we got what we came for.
We're coming back for you. Close the doors. Marine 1, I gotta close the
It's
gate.
not as
Get
good
out of there.
as the first one. Like, it's not as good as Jurassic Park's intro.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool and all, but it doesn't have that.
Yeah, it doesn't have the. And in a way, it's kind of over the top.
Yeah.
Marine 1, I need to close the gate. Confirm position. Can you hear me? Are you out?
Now, theoretically,
Guys,
what is that?
they're still alive in there.
sure. That would be a horrible death.
Seriously, guys, I'm kind of exposed out here. Marine 1, confirm you're out. Marine 1.
It can't just shut, can it? It has to have a progress bar.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't reach them. What?
I love that. Lightning strike.
What is going on? I can't hear you.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Now, what I do like about this is the sense of, you know, peril, then relief, then
Peril.
and then peril.
Oh no, it's well done.
Yeah. In reality, that they could yank that down easy.
Cut it now. I'm gonna die here. Come on. I said cut it.
Whatever your friendship to that guy is it really worth getting pulled out of a helicopter and eaten? And more relief?
More relief, and then?
And then...
Yum yum. So the question I have: will the submarine guys have to watch the decomposition of the other dude inside the belly? Like, who would outlive?
No, I think its internal organs would crack that thing open pretty easy with its stomach acid. So I think, so it's a longer death than it needs to be, but I think it's not so bad.
They'd be hanging out together.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they could kiss for one final time if they feeling like
Yes. Because that would be a painful way to go. I'm just saying. All right, final one. Now there's a few of these intros. Because there's extended versions and all this stuff, but I do quite like this transition. There it goes. $65 million years later. I just, that's cool.
Love that T-Rex.
Yeah.
Keep it steady.
Shooting at civilians?
In his defense, he told the guy to keep it steady. He didn't. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Settle down, kid. She can't run forever.
You did not just lose a 5-meter tall dinosaur.
No, those trees are pretty thick though. Like, I like how he said keep it steady, and then they went, "How dare you give me an order? I'm gonna shake it as much as I fucking can to make you miss." That's like if you Jamie's the pilot because Jamie is a contrarian. So if you tell Jamie something's good, he'll say it's bad. So with that logic, Jamie's a pilot. They said keep it steady, and Jamie went, "No, I'm gonna shake the helicopter."
No. Well, in a way, that's true. I mean, anytime I'm working and someone says hurry up, I intentionally slow down.
Exactly.
You know?
So
but that's only if I'm having a bad day or I have a tiff with the person. That's saying
again, which is common. So again, that's what I'm saying. Like it's the Jamie of
yeah. Okay.
of helicopters.
There you go. So we all agree the first one's the best one.
Easily.
Yep.
Easily. Yeah, like Spielberg just did it right. Like it's just a classic horror. I love the effect where where he's on the ground and it's a slow pause and the quick drag across the ground.
Then the dude goes up.
Yeah. I love it. Again,
practical effects.
No, I love CGI too, but sometimes it's good to see a guy sometimes CG can hide lazy filmmaking. They have to, with some of the practical effects, they had to work with what they could do, and it's made some iconic scenes, and that's just one of them. And again, they could have just put some tranquilizers in that thing and just rolled it into sleep. But again, let's again.
Yeah. Well, they weren't thinking about things like that back then. Movie making
in the 90s, the 90s had basically 90s when people now starting to go seatbelts, guys, are oh, fine, fine, fuck you.
The reason why you think that dinosaurs should be tranquilized before they're transferred is because of this. There had to be a precedent. This is why we don't do it, guys.
Honestly, I went to IKEA the other day, well, several years ago, and I had to buy some some boxes and things. There was a box there, right? There's a massive box where you can store things in. On the box, there was this big say "Don't," and then they showed a picture of a baby inside the box. And I was going someone had to have done this for this to be a label.
Yes. Yep.
So no. So after this happened, what would happen is some HR lady will press pause. She'll turn to everyone in the crowd and go, "All right, can anyone tell me what went wrong? We didn't tranquilize the dinosaur. You didn't tranquilize the dinosaur, guys. Yes, you see?
Yeah.
And there would be a big seminar, and all the guys are thinking, "Oh my god, this is the boringest thing alive." But why is that seminar lady's boobs so big? And then they would have been distracted, and and that's why further disasters continue to happen in the dinosaur world.
Yeah.
But the fact is, we have the technology to make dinosaurs in CGI with a bit of practical effects starting in there, because you want the close-up shots have to be a practical dinosaur, obviously. And to circle back, to bring it full circle, and yet I see no Dino-Riders on the horizon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you think toys sell a lot of money, now with those just think of the toys you could sell with Dino-Riders. And I know it's from a failed toy line from many years ago where they only made one season of toys because the show didn't do well. But you know what? The show didn't do well because it was ahead of its time. It was too advanced.
Mm-hmm.
You give me Dino-Riders now, I can guarantee you those toys would sell like hotcakes.
Oh, they would. And you'd have all these adults that grew up watching Dino-Riders, wanting Dino-Riders to come back, and they would take their children
to go see Dino-Riders.
Yes.
I've been looking for a good set of Dino-Riders toys, but they
just don't exist.
They're hard because they're all not in good condition because
because everyone played with them.
Everyone played with them, yes.
Back in the 90s,
Like irresponsible parents, they unpack their toys for their children.
Yes.
But you look at those 80s, those are such awesome toys, those Dino-Riders toys.
Yeah.
Again, thank you for listening to the toy commercials and all these toys.
Toy podcast.
Continue listening for all your toy needs. Now, to wrap it up, because we are, I think, 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
What's your likelihood of going to see the new Jurassic World movie when it comes in the cinema? For me, I would say almost a certainty. Look, as much as I piss on it, I'm going to go see the fucking dinosaurs. Neil?
I think by the time it comes out, at least one of my kids will want to go and see it. And I would be irresponsible to just drop them off and leave them to it. So I would probably end up going.
You're not worried you're going to, if you drop your kids off, you get a phone call from like an usher saying, "Is your child is crying?"
That's probably why I'd have to go in there and watch it as well.
Yeah. No, I'm 50-50, but it's dinosaurs. You kind of, you got to go, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. Remember to check out our sponsors, Rebecca Cassells and Martin Kearns. All their stuff's available on Amazon.
But let's be honest. If you're going to listen to Rebecca Cassells' work of the fiction with the spiciness into it, you don't want to do that on a laptop or a Kindle. That's just weird. You want a real, honest-to-God book. So you can put that book in your living room. So when people come over to your house and see your literature and pick it up and start reading it and be like, whoa, nice. That's what you want. Remember, you're all hipsters in reality. And you don't want to see the books die. So go out and buy books. Paperback books. Because that's what Jesus would do.
After building the table to put the books on.
Yes. He would also build a pretty nice bookshelf, I think. I think he could pretty deep. But I digress. He would go...
Or you could have a nice wood effect case for your Kindle device. Then you can buy the hard copy and the ebook, please.
Yeah. Double the sales. Double the value. Capitalism, yes. Speaking of capitalism, my next book's coming out in a month or so. The first one is free. The ebook is free. Bucks Night is free from my website, J. O'Brien, plugging myself here. Yep, so I'm planning to wrap up that whole trilogy this year so I can move on to other projects. Maybe a little screenplay that we need to finish, Chris.
Oh, yeah.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
So we did work on that one.
Yes. If you want to send us an email, thetrueandthefictional@gmail.com. We're on Instagram, stories_podcast, on YouTube. All our links for that are in the show notes. But I'm going to hit you guys with some terrible, terrible dinosaur jokes to send us home.
Excellent.
Why can't a T-Rex clap their hands? They're extinct.
Oh.
Why can't you hear a pterodactyl go to the toilet?
Why?
Because the P is silent.
Oh.
Why was the T-Rex arrested?
Why?
He was a small arms dealer.
Oh! No! No!
What do you call a dinosaur with an extensive vocabulary? A thesaurus.
I'm gonna kill you.
And
I
finally,
going to kill you.
And finally, a Toy Story related one. What did Rex say to Woody after eating one of Andy's toys? You've got a friend in me. Thank you guys. We'll catch you next time. This podcast is brought to you by Martin Kearns and the Valor of Valhalla series. In the battle between two ancient evils, can one naive young man become the last hope against powerful creatures of legend? Beneath the Veil is the gripping first book in the Valor of Valhalla dark urban fantasy series. If you like reluctant heroes, infernal myths, and bloody epic clashes, then you'll love Martin Kearns' formidable foray into the unknown. So head on over to readkearns.com and grab yourself a copy of Beneath the Veil today.